let's make a knife. We're gonna do a shop tour, so come on in and check it out. First off, I want to say thank you. We just hit 307 subscribers. Wow, blown away. That is insane. So a lot of you are new here. We're gonna kind of show you the shop and what we do and what machines we use and how we get it done. So let's go out here to the forge first. Here it is. Just made this. We had a tiny forge before. It's over there. It's seen better days. But right now we got this one. It is pretty cool. I'm going to show you what's inside. So we've got about 8 inches of width and 18 inches long with a 13-inch ribbon burner hooked up to a 430 CFM blower. Push button start right there. Fire it up. You fire it up and then you get it. But we're out of propane right now, so we can't fire it up. But that's the forge. Let's go inside, take a look at some other stuff. Here it is, the workhorse, the biggest thing in my shop, the most important thing in the shop. This is my 2x72, a Mary Braid, 2-horse, 3-phase grinder. It runs on 220 power. It's got a VFD controller. Starts up like this, so you can get slow going, but it ramps up to, I don't know the RPM, but it goes pretty fast. That thing's moving, right? Woo! So it's got forward and reverse. It tilts. So it's got all the things, bells and whistles. I like it. I want to get more attachments. I have this small wheel attachment right here for all the small wheels. This is great for getting in those little finger choils and everything. And then, yeah, we got belts. We got belts on belts on belts. We got belts on the other wall over there. Tons of belts. Go through a lot of abrasives. And next to it is my main toolbox that I use. So this one right here just kind of holds all my stuff. Up here I got miscellaneous glues and super glues, you know, sprays, acetone, goof off, baking soda, all that kind of stuff goes up here. And then in my drawers, I got my tooling and stuff I use, squares, bits, all my pencils and pens, files. Always need a lot of files. Need a lot of files. In here, other miscellaneous tools, calipers, forget the name of that tool right now, but file guide, yeah, file guides, Allen wrenches, stuff like that. And here's where I put all my pens and miscellaneous stuff. And this is where all the junk is, rubber bands, gloves, sticks, things like that you need. Down here, we've got a bunch of knives. Some knives from other makers that have failed that were brought to me. Just to have things I haven't finished, things that have failed attempt. Making an oyster knife with you know, full tang integral bolster, didn't work out. Got some blades that just kind of broke apart, bubbled up, and didn't make it through the heat treat. This blade actually, the tip snapped off and cracked, so I broke it off. Was going to make it a smaller one, but it just didn't work out. So failures, a lot of failures in here. Hand forged chef knife, failure. But yeah, I like to keep them, look back on them. Knife from way back in the day. One of the first, I guess, kind of. But random steel. In here I got beginning of billets, stuff I'm working on. We got some feather Damascus in here that I just made. Kind of check that out. Pretty cool. And we just got all our steel in here. Other billets that have been drawn out. A kukri I forged. Never finished. Don't really like it that much, but maybe I'll finish it one day. So that's that drawer. Come down in here, I got storage. I kind of put finished knives in here. A little junky right now at the moment, but random stuff. In here, I usually put all my handle material. Supplies are getting low right now. We need to restock it, but we got a lot of wood, that's for sure. In here is random steel, some drill bits, punches, things like that. A bunch of files. We got some cable in here for making some cable Damascus. And then down there is just a drawer full of another miscellaneous things. Notepads, drawing pads, and stuff like that. Next to it, we got the 14-inch Delta bandsaw. Pretty good bandsaw for cutting wooden materials and stuff like that. So all the wood handles and stuff gets cut on this, resawing and doing that stuff here. Over here is a box full, just slap full of wood. So there's a lot of wood in here, a lot of like really cool stuff in here, a lot of stuff from Nicaragua that I brought back, and random walnut and rosewood and just some cool stuff in there. And then usually behind the door, I stock all my steel. So down here I got some stainless steel, I got carbon steel, we got a big piece of wrought iron from a historical house downtown. This is pretty cool. So we're gonna do something rad with that. And we got a motorcycle front end, because hey, everyone needs a motorcycle front end in the garage, right? All right, up here we got the whiteboard. It's where we get our planning, our stuff out. You know, when we got a bunch of builds going on, I like to get all organized up here and kind of get the system rolling. So that is this corner of the garage. Let's step over here. This here is a clutch, 12-inch by 12-inch horizontal bandsaw. So to cut up to 12 inches, I use this for cutting all my billets up, cutting steel pieces, cutting a lot of things. So it really, really comes in handy. It's water cooled, or not water cooled, but coolant cooled. So yeah, this is a good purchase. Got off Marketplace for $200. So that's pretty awesome. And then come over here. This is the press, right? So down here I got a 3-phase hydraulic pump. So this pumps all the hydraulic fluid through the hydraulic cylinder, and it's controlled by a VFD. This is a 3-phase motor, 5-horse 3-phase motor. And I think I scored this pump off Marketplace for $250 when I was working on getting all the parts and pieces for the press. A lot of this stuff was salvage steel that I got from here and there. People give you a lot of steel when you are making knives, I believe. But over here we got all the dies. This is where I hang them. Hang all these different dies that I made. I got some mild drawing dies right here, aggressive drawing dies right there. And then over here, this is the press. It goes up and down. And these are my flat dies. 2-inch by 2-inch. They help like just squaring stuff up and drawing it out, the steel and stuff. And then down here I got like, you know, I got the splitter for doing feather Damascus. And we got more dies over here. We got squaring dies over here. These really work well for like squaring up billets and re-squaring billets, especially when I'm doing my C's. And the Damascus, I like using those. And then I got these big flat ones. These are kind of just for flattening the steel out mostly and getting it straightened up. And next to the press is a 1981 Century Mill. Also marketplace find. I think we scored this thing for around 500, but it works well. It works well for what I do. You know, it's not top of the line, but it works for what we need in the shop. So that's the mill. It's, you know, cranks up, adjustable variable speed, and it has forward and reverse, which is pretty cool. Let's go back over here. So, down here I got my kiln. This is a pottery kiln, also a marketplace find. It's got a PID controller on it, so I can actually hit the temps that I need to hit with a thermocouple. So pretty precise, even though it's a pottery kiln, I like it. It works pretty good for me. And then usually up here, I kind of just, this is my work zone. I sit here and I'll kind of have all the things I'm working on, and then they go to the grinder and we, you know, kind of get organized. I kind of draw right here, get everything that's going together, and what I'm working on laid out here. And then on the wall, we got our screw guns, our impacts, typical shop tools. Over here, we got torches. Always need torches for lighting the forge, heating up steel, this, that, you know. We got Windex, our PPEs. Always wear your PPEs, guys. No one wants bad lungs. Then we got some sandpaper. Really like this Rhino Wet red line. Stuff works really good for hand sanding. We got screwdrivers. We got a knife Bible for sure. This book is great. If you don't have it, I suggest getting it if you're getting into knife making, or if you're knife making and don't have it. In the back, it's got all the heat treats and everything that you need and how to do them. A lot of information in this book. This is another grinder. This is the 1x30 Rikon grinder. This was one of my first grinders that I had. I didn't have a big grinder yet. I used this one a lot when I first started. So it's about, you know, coming up on 8 or 9 years old. It's variable speed, but it doesn't go as low as I would like it to go. But it works pretty good. It gets a lot of vibration, but pretty good little grinder for what it is. And then next we have the bandsaw. This is a Milwaukee Portaband. I made a table for it. I know some people get the swag tables. They're not that hard to make, really. You can drill holes and line them up and make them pretty easy. So, you know, if you're ever wanting to make one, don't be afraid. They work pretty good. Yeah. So that's that. Over here is just kind of like drill bits. We got hardening files up here. And down here we got more miscellaneous stuff. Punches, you know, center marks or center punches. Random stuff, all little bits and things you need. In here, same thing, bits and random stuff that we use all the time. Over here, next to that, is the Craftsman by King Sealy Corporation drill press. And this thing is old. I think it was my grandfather's, and then my dad got it, and it just really is an awesome machine. Love having it. Love how old it is. You know, it's just built right. It's sturdy. It's American made, and it is tough. Next to that, we got kind of all my etching things. So ferric chloride, coffee, more coffee. This stuff is what you guys want to use, man. If you're doing Damascus and you want to get that black and that shiny and that contrast, Nescafe Classico. Nescafe Classico. This is the stuff. All right, all the other stuff I think kind of works, but this stuff really does the trick. And then we got our polisher. It's a buffing wheel, polisher, whatever you want to call it. I got a Scotch-Brite wheel on one side, polishing wheel on the other side, and then I got various other wheels that I use a lot of, and I you know, switch them in and out. And then on Up above it on the wall, we got another small Portaband. We got a nice little old vise. It's a drill press vise. This thing's great. Love it. Up here we got the grinders. Big 7-inch grinder. We got the small 4-inch grinder. We got wrenches back here that I use for twisting certain various steels. I made these, put some handles on them. This one I use for twisting, doing the twist Damascus. Works great. This one right here is for, you know, usually with my railroad spike knives, I use this one because I can get it to the size. So that's, you know, that little section. Down below it is a bucket of steel. Every metal shop, I feel like, just has a bucket of random steel. There's so much random steel in there, it should be good for days. So that's that. Then right here we got the leg vise. I got this leg vise also Marketplace. It's nice, it's pretty good, pretty square. So this thing comes in handy, really, for like filing, heating on. You can hit stuff really good with this because it drives straight to the ground. I got the vise. I made the stand out of some miscellaneous steel from the steel supplier. Some end cuts and stuff, so we made it work with that. And then on this side, we got the welders. So we got the MIG welder. We got the Eastwood MIG 135. Gloves, welding helmet, the big tank. And down below it, we got an Art Captain Cut 50 plasma cutter. We don't do a lot of that, so that's a good, it actually works really good. I like the Art Captain 50. It's a cheap, affordable plasma cutter if you want one. I think it was like $2.99 or something like that. So pretty good deal. And then we have this little tiny stick TIG machine. So I use that. I do some TIG welding with it. It's a lift TIG setup. Over here is the bottle of gas for it. So we got the gas for doing TIG, straight argon. And then under that, next to it, I got a parts MIG 135. We got the little tiny shop vac. I'm not a Ryobi guy at all, but this little vacuum with the adapter for any of your batteries that you got, man, this thing is perfect. It's small, it's compact. You can walk around the shop and really use this vacuum a good deal. So I like it. It's a good little vacuum vacuum. All right, and then we're gonna get into this side. Over here, we got a 1976 shovel head motor. Everyone needs a motorcycle motor in their knife shop, right? It's part of my old bike. We're rebuilding it eventually, and then, you know, we'll get to it like everything else. But in here, in this toolbox, is kind of all Kathy's stuff. This is her little area, and she's got all of her leather working stuff in here. We got, you know, everything she uses in that. We got the computer. This is where we go live. This is where we talk to you guys, share our day, share our week, share all of our love and support for you guys. And, you know, this is kind of where that happens. And we like it. We got our printer for packaging and sending out our packages. Do everything right here. Goes in the mailbox and out to you guys. So back there, a lot of people ask. It's a 1971 Volkswagen Beetle. So in the shop, we have a car, and then we have this small space. And we do our best in this small space that we have. One day, hopefully, we'll have a big shop. Those are the goals. But all in all, that's the shop tour. So thanks for tuning in, and thank you for supporting the channel. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.